Is it really bad for a kid to see me smoke? Does your nephew look up to you at all? If so, this is showing him what you do. Is that what you want? Well, think about it this way. Nearly every smoker picks up the habit young, as a result of peer pressure and because their dumb kid brains perceive it as cool and mature. Nobody starts smoking because they think it's good for them or even a smart thing to do. I started smoking when I was 13. All my friends were picking it up, and all the adults in my house smoked like chimneys anyway, so I thought, why not? I spent 35 years as a slave to Philip Morris. Quitting smoking was the most difficult thing I ever did, and I failed at trying countless times before I finally managed to do it. Maybe don't give the kid any dumb ideas. True story, I was about 4 years old when I said to my mother, "Look mom, I'm smoking, just like you," while I held my pinwheel in my mouth and pretended to take a drag. My mother quit soon after that. After reading all of this comment, I decided to quit smoking. From today, thank you everyone. Yes, it does. You can tell a kid 1,000 times not to do something, but when they see you do it, they don't see what's wrong with it. Lead by example. People are just giving their personal opinion, but there are actual studies on this. Look up smoking and child modeling behavior. Long story short, you should not smoke in front of kids. Kids imitate adults, especially ones they look up to, and especially if it looks like you enjoy it. So yeah, of course there is some risk. He'll imitate that and it's addictive, as you know, so a mistake here could affect him for life. I know quitting is hard, and you may not want to, but you should consider it if you're gonna be taking care of the kid. Part of the responsibility is knowing that everything you do teaches him something. Do they find you cool? If so, then yes. If not, then yeah, will be used as a cautionary tale, so smoke away. One time, as a kid, I put the butts from my parents' ashtray in my mouth like I was smoking, because I wanted to pretend to be like them. I thought it was so stupid when they yelled at me since they were doing it for real, and I was just pretending. Thankfully, I don't really smoke tobacco, but I certainly tried to imitate my parents in a way. Just stop poisoning yourself and people around you. It's not worth it at all. Just know that you stink, and that kid will always associate you with that stench. I know a lot of smokers don't realize this, and I have seen a thread or two when smokers are flabbergasted when they are eventually told that even though they only smoke outside or they only wear this jacket, you still always stink. So like, do everyone around you a favor and quit. Quit so that the kid doesn't have to put up with it, because it's super unpleasant for non-smokers. Quit smoking, it will kill you with love, your Reddit friend. I feel like based on the comments, I'm probably an outlier, but I was raised around people who smoked cigarettes, and it didn't make me want to start smoking at all. It was very normal for me, but I swore I did never pick one up. I'm 26 now and have never smoked a cigarette and don't intend to. The smell is revolting. As soon as I moved out, the first rule I set for my house was no smoking inside. Kid is going to be exposed to someone smoking sooner or later, as long as you're not blowing smoke in their face. It's up to the parent to teach them about that stuff. My dad has smoked for 50 years. When I was a little kid, my mom made him only smoke outside or in the garage. He'd smoke in his truck too. At like 12 years old, he lit one up, looked at me and said, "Don't start smoking. It's a bad habit that I never should have started." Of course I've had a cigarette or two in my life, usually after a few too many beers, but I take pride that I have never bought or smoked a pack of cigarettes. So yeah, it may be bad for your kids to see, but if they do, just explain why it's bad. It worked for me, at least. If they know you smoke, it normalizes it and makes them more likely to be less turned off to trying it themselves. Taking steps like you said, not doing it in front of them, helps. But ultimately you should quit for your own reasons also. I have a lot of smokers in my extended family, and they think that just being outside means you can be standing over a kid because it's outside. Every year there has been someone who smokes every morning at the school bus stop. These people can't go 5 minutes without a smoke to avoid physically exposing kids to it. I just don't really think people like you are the problem. Yes, he might be slightly more inclined to think it's cool if he sees you, but kids aren't complete zombies. Maybe I'm a bit harsh because I think no one should smoke, and I certainly advise you to stop because of how it will affect your health. But yeah, most definitely kids imitate what they see, especially if you're someone they trust and look up to like an uncle. He's gonna trust that what you're doing is good and cool, and he's gonna be so popular in his grade. That's how kids work. So yes. And if you're in a near vicinity to them, there's still a risk of secondhand smoke. If you want stop for your health, stop for the health of your nephew. My dad was a smoker and always used to tell me that he'd kill me if I ever started. I'm on 7-ish years of cigs now. Only if he thinks you're cool. Thankfully, I don't have to worry about this. I haven't been cool in over 50 years.